cold night, a trapped German shepherd, and a baby's promise to save him. You won't believe what happened. Welcome to Pawprints forever. Are you ready to embark on a heartwarming journey filled with laughter, friendship, and the magic of rescue dogs? Join Lily, Buddy, Bella, and their new friend Charlie as they navigate the snowy landscapes of Cedar Creek, create unforgettable memories, and discover the true meaning of family. But before we dive into this adventure, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with fellow dog lovers. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. It was a bitterly cold night in Cedar Creek, a small town nestled in the heart of the Midwest. Snowflakes danced through the air, swirling and twirling as they made their descent onto the quiet streets and the roofs of the snug houses. The wind howled like a wolf, sending shivers down the spines of those who dared to venture outside. In the midst of this winter wonderland, a young girl named Lily sat by the window, her breath fogging up the glass as she watched the world transform into a snowy paradise. Lily was a spirited 7-year-old with bright blue eyes that sparkled with curiosity and a head full of unruly chestnut curls. She loved everything about winter, the snowball fights with her friends, the hot cocoa her mother made, and the cozy evenings spent reading under a blanket. But tonight was different. An inexplicable sense of unease hung in the air, making her restless. "Mum, can I go outside for just a minute?" she asked, her voice hopeful. Her mother, Sarah, looked over her shoulder from the kitchen where she was preparing dinner. "Honey, it's really cold out there. Why don't you wait until tomorrow when it's light out?" Lily pouted but nodded, understanding her mother's concern. She returned to the window, her thoughts wandering. As the minutes ticked by, she felt a strange pull to the outside world. What if someone needed help? What if a lost animal was out there shivering in the cold? Just then, a gentle whimper caught her attention. It was faint, almost drowned out by the wind. Her heart raced as she pressed her forehead against the glass, straining to see through the swirling snow. And then she saw him, a large German shepherd, his dark coat matted with snow, his breath visible in the freezing air. He was standing by the edge of the woods, looking lost and frightened. "Mum, there's a dog outside," Lily exclaimed, her heart pounding with urgency. Sarah rushed to the window and gasped, "Oh dear, he looks so cold, we have to help him." Without waiting for a second thought, Lily grabbed her coat and boots, determined to save the dog she felt an undeniable connection to. "I'll go," she declared, her voice steady and resolute. "Lily, wait!" Sarah called, but the girl was already dashing out the door, her small body bundled in layers of clothing. The cold bit at her cheeks as she stepped into the snow, but Lily didn't care. She had a mission. She called out to the dog, her voice ringing clearly through the night. "Hey boy, come here." The German shepherd lifted his head, his ears perked up at the sound of her voice. He hesitated for a moment, but then took a few tentative steps toward her. Lily's heart soared as she knelt down, extending her hand in a gesture of friendship. "It's okay, I'm here to help you." As he approached, she noticed the fear in his eyes, but there was also something else, a flicker of hope. The dog sniffed her hand cautiously, and Lily felt a rush of warmth in her chest. She could see the collar around his neck, but the tag was frozen and unreadable. "Let's get you home," she whispered, and with that promise, she reached for his collar and gently tugged him closer. "You're safe now." But as she turned to lead him back, she noticed the way he limped slightly, his paw lifting off the ground. Panic gripped her. "Oh no! Are you hurt?" The dog whined softly, and Lily's heart ached. She looked back toward her house, the flickering light from the window a beacon of warmth and safety. She knew she had to get him inside, but how could she carry him? He was much larger than her. "Okay, boy, we can do this together," she said, her voice soothing as she stroked his fur. "Just a little further." With every step, the wind howled around them, but Lily pressed on. She could feel the weight of the cold pressing against her, but her determination burned fiercely. The promise she'd made to the dog echoed in her mind. She would save him. As they reached the steps of her porch, Lily paused. She needed a plan. "You wait here, okay? I'll be right back," she said, giving him an encouraging pat on the head before darting inside. Inside, her mother was still unaware of the situation unfolding outside. Lily quickly reached for a blanket, her heart racing as she imagined the dog shivering in the cold. She grabbed an old towel from the bathroom and returned to the porch where the German Shepherd waited, watching her with hopeful eyes. "See? I'm back," she cheered, wrapping the blanket around him as best as she could. "Now let's get you warm." With the blanket secured around him, Lily carefully led him up the steps into the warmth of their home. But as they crossed the threshold, the dog suddenly froze, his body tense. Lily looked back, confused. "What's wrong? It's okay." He hesitated, staring into the unfamiliar space, and for a moment, Lily's heart sank. What if he was too scared to come in? But the thought of leaving him outside alone was unbearable. "You can trust me," she whispered, kneeling down to his level. In that moment, something shifted. The dog took a hesitant step forward, then another, and before long he was inside, the warmth enveloping him like a soft embrace. "Welcome home," Lily declared, her eyes wide with joy. But as she watched him sniff around, her heart ached again. This dog needed a name, something that would remind him of love and safety. How about Buddy?" she suggested, and the dog looked at her, tilting his head as if he understood. "Yeah, Buddy it is," she said, her voice bright with excitement. "You're gonna love it here." As Buddy settled onto the living room floor, shaking off the snow and warmth enveloping him, Lily felt a deep connection form between them. She promised herself that she would do everything she could to help him heal, not just from the cold, but from whatever fears had haunted him before. Little did she know, this was just the beginning of a heartwarming journey that would change both their lives forever. "Now let's get you some food," Lily chirped, bounding toward the kitchen, ready to care for her new friend. But the night was still young, and the real adventure was just about to unfold. Lily rushed into the kitchen, her heart swelling with excitement. She rummaged through the cabinets, her tiny fingers searching for something that would be just right for Buddy. She remembered her parents always said never to feed a dog table scraps, so she set her sights on the dog food they kept in a tall container at the back of the cupboard. "Aha!" she exclaimed, pulling out the heavy bag of kibble. She struggled to lift it, her small body straining against the weight as she dragged it toward the living room. Back in the cozy space, Buddy had begun to explore his surroundings. His nose twitched as he sniffed around the couch, the fireplace, and the family photos on the walls. He seemed to be absorbing everything, yet his eyes remained cautious, as if he was still unsure about this new environment. "Hey, Buddy," Lily called out, her voice bright and cheerful. "I'm going to get you some food." She finally managed to drop the bag on the floor, and with a bit of effort, tore it open. She filled a bowl with the kibble and placed it down in front of him. As soon as the food hit the floor, Buddy's eyes widened and he eagerly dove in. The sound of crunching filled the room, and Lily watched with delight. "Look at you go," she giggled, her heart swelling with joy. "You must have been really hungry." After devouring the food, Buddy lifted his head and looked at Lily, his tail wagging slightly, an encouraging sign. She felt a rush of warmth as she realized he was beginning to relax. "I think we're going to be best friends," she declared, reaching out to stroke his fur. But beneath her excitement, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that Buddy had been through something difficult. She remembered the way he had limped earlier, and a pang of concern struck her heart. "I need to take care of you," she whispered softly. As the evening wore on, the wind howled outside, but inside the warmth of the fire crackled cheerfully. Lily pulled out a blanket and settled down next to Buddy on the floor. She draped the blanket over both of them, and together they sat in a cocoon of comfort. "Do you want to hear a story?" Lily asked, looking into Buddy's eyes. "I love stories. My favorite one is about a brave little dog who saved his family." As she began to weave her tale, Buddy leaned against her, his head resting on her lap, The connection between them deepened with every word she spoke, and Lily felt as if they were forming a pact, a promise to always be there for one another. Later that evening, Sarah entered the room, carrying a steaming mug of hot cocoa. She froze in the doorway, her eyes wide as she took in the scene. "Lily, what have you done?" she exclaimed, a mixture of surprise and concern etched on her face. "It's okay, Mum. I found Buddy outside. He was all alone and scared," Lily explained, her voice brimming with excitement. "He needs our help." Sarah knelt down, examining Buddy closely. The German shepherd looked back at her, his big brown eyes full of a mix of gratitude and uncertainty. She could see the remnants of snow on his fur and the way he shifted uneasily with every movement. "Oh, sweetheart, he's beautiful," Sarah said, her heart softening. "But we need to make sure he's okay. Let's get him to the vet first thing in the morning." Lily's eyes widened in worry. What if he's too scared to go? What if he doesn't want to leave? Sarah smiled gently, kneeling beside her daughter. "We'll take it slow. I promise we'll be with him every step of the way. He'll feel our love, and that will help him trust us." Lily nodded, her heart lightening at her mother's words. "Okay, let's make him a cozy spot to sleep tonight." Together, they gathered blankets and pillows, creating a makeshift bed in the corner of the living room. Lily was determined to ensure Buddy felt safe and loved throughout the night. As they worked, she couldn't help but share stories of her own experiences with pets, recounting the adventures of her childhood cat, Whiskers, and how they had shared countless cuddles and mischief together. Once Buddy's bed was ready, Lily led him over to it. "This is your new home for tonight, Buddy," she said, her voice soothing. "You can sleep here, and tomorrow we'll go on an adventure to the vet." Buddy sniffed the blankets, then curled up, tucking his paws beneath him. Lily smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. She felt like a superhero, having rescued him from the cold, and she promised herself to be his protector. As the night deepened, the family gathered for their bedtime routine. Lily brushed her teeth, her mind racing with thoughts of the day's events. What had Buddy experienced before he came to her? Did he have a family? The questions swirled inside her head, but she pushed them aside for now, focusing instead on the bond they were building. Finally, as she climbed into bed, she glanced over at Buddy, who was now peacefully sleeping. "Good night, Buddy," she whispered, feeling a warmth spread through her heart. "I promise I'll take care of you." Sleep overtook her quickly, but as she drifted off, the promise lingered in the air, both a vow and a wish. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but together they would face them. Lily fell asleep, dreaming of adventures, of a brave German shepherd, a promise made, and a love that would conquer all obstacles. Little did she know that this bond would lead them both on a journey filled with hope, healing, and the kind of love that only a child and a dog could share. The sun rose the next morning, casting a golden glow across the snow-covered landscape of Cedar Creek. Lily stirred in her bed, stretching her arms above her head and blinking sleepily at the ceiling. The memories of the previous night flooded back to her. A cold, frightened dog, a promise made, and the warmth of companionship. Her heart raced with excitement as she remembered Buddy. She hopped out of bed and rushed to the living room, her bare feet padding softly against the cold floor. There, nestled in his blanket, was Buddy, still sleeping soundly. The sight made her smile. A feeling of joy and responsibility washed over her. "Good morning, Buddy," she chirped, kneeling beside him. Buddy stirred, lifting his head to meet her gaze, his tail wagging slightly as he recognized her. Lily felt a rush of happiness as she reached out to pet him gently. "Today's a big day. We're going to the vet." As she spoke, Buddy's ears perked up and he sat up, his expression shifting to one of curiosity. He seemed to sense the excitement in her voice, but Lily could also see the glimmer of apprehension in his eyes. "Don't worry, I'll be right there with you," she reassured him, her voice soft and warm. After breakfast, Lily and her mother prepared for the vet visit. Sarah gathered a few essentials: a leash, a collar, and a comfortable blanket for Buddy to sit on in the car. Lily held onto Buddy's leash tightly, feeling a mix of excitement and concern. She wanted everything to go perfectly for him. "Are you ready?" Sarah asked, giving Lily a reassuring smile as they approached the front door. "Yes, let's go," Lily replied, her enthusiasm infectious. As they stepped outside, the cold air hit them, but Buddy seemed to embrace it. He sniffed the fresh snow, his tail wagging energetically. "See, Buddy, there's a whole world out here," Lily exclaimed, her heart swelling with joy at his spirit. The car ride was filled with a blend of nervous energy and anticipation. Lily sat in the back seat with Buddy, who shifted restlessly, his eyes darting around as if trying to take in every detail. "Just a little longer, Buddy. We're almost there," she said, petting him gently to provide comfort. When they finally arrived at the vet's office, an air of apprehension settled over Buddy. He hesitated at the entrance, his body tensing up. Lily knelt beside him, looking into his eyes, which were a mix of fear and trust. "You can do this, Buddy. I'm right here," she whispered, feeling a surge of determination to help him feel safe. With her mother's encouragement, they stepped inside. The waiting room was bustling with activity. Other pets and their owners filled the space, and the smell of antiseptic hung in the air. Buddy's eyes widened, and he leaned against Lily's side, seeking solace. As they waited for their turn, Lily spoke softly to him. "This will be over soon, and then we can go home. You'll see." She shared her thoughts about the snow, the fun they would have playing together, and how Buddy would soon feel much better. When the nurse called them in, Lily felt a surge of anxiety. "It's okay, Buddy. We're going together," she reassured him, taking the lead as they entered the examination room. The vet, a kind woman with gentle hands and a warm smile, greeted them. "Hello there. And who do we have here?" she asked, kneeling down to Buddy's level. "This is Buddy," Lily exclaimed, her voice bright with pride. "I found him outside, and I think he needs help." The vet smiled, her eyes softening as she examined Buddy. "Well, let's take a look at him. You did a wonderful thing by bringing him in." As the examination progressed, Buddy remained tense, but Lily stayed by his side, holding his paw and whispering words of encouragement. "You're doing great, Buddy. Just a little more, I promise." The vet carefully checked his leg and found a small cut that was healing but still causing him discomfort. "It looks like Buddy has a minor injury, but nothing too serious. I'll clean it up and give him some medication, and he should be back to feeling like himself in no time," she explained. Lily felt a mix of relief and happiness wash over her. "Thank goodness he's going to be okay," she exclaimed, her heart soaring. After the vet finished her work, Buddy seemed to relax a little, sensing that the worst was over. The vet gave them instructions for care and a few treats for Buddy. "And don't forget, a little love goes a long way," she said, winking at Lily. As they left the clinic, Buddy's demeanor had shifted. He walked with more confidence, his tail wagging as they stepped back into the crisp winter air. "See, Buddy, you did it. Now we can go home and celebrate," Lily cheered, her excitement bubbling over. The car ride home felt different. Buddy seemed to understand that he was safe now, and he settled comfortably in the back seat beside Lily, resting his head on her lap. She stroked his fur gently, her heart swelling with affection. When they arrived home, Lily wasted no time in making Buddy feel special. "Let's have a little party for you," she declared. She gathered her favorite toys, some treats, and a cozy blanket to spread out on the living room floor. Buddy watched curiously as she arranged everything, his eyes brightening with each new item she pulled out. "This is your party, Buddy," she said, giggling as she tossed a squeaky toy his way. As Buddy pounced on the toy, a burst of energy filling the room, Lily laughed joyfully. "I think you're going to like it here." The hours flew by as they played together. Buddy chased after toys, and Lily could see the joy returning to his eyes, the spark of life that had been dimmed by fear and uncertainty. She felt a profound sense of accomplishment. She had made a difference in his life. As evening approached, The house was filled with warmth and laughter. Lily snuggled up beside Buddy, who now lay comfortably in his corner, surrounded by his new toys. "We're going to be the best team ever," she whispered, resting her head against his fur. Underneath the blanket of stars that blanketed the night sky, the bond between them grew stronger. Buddy had found a home, and Lily had found a friend. Each moment reaffirmed her promise to care for him, and together they would face whatever challenges life brought their way, with love, trust, and an unbreakable bond that would last a lifetime. Little did they know that this was only the beginning of their journey together, filled with new adventures, laughter, and heartwarming moments that would change their lives forever. As dawn broke over Cedar Creek, a soft, golden light filtered through the sheer curtains of Lily's bedroom. She stirred awake, her heart racing with excitement. Today was the day she had been waiting for, her first real adventure with Buddy. After a few days of getting to know each other, she was eager to take him outside and explore the winter wonderland together. Lily leaped out of bed, quickly throwing on her warmest clothes. She knew Buddy would need some time to adjust to the outdoors, especially since he had spent so long trapped in the cold. After a quick breakfast of oatmeal and fresh fruit, she rushed to the living room where Buddy lay curled up in his blanket, looking cozy and peaceful. "Good morning, Buddy," she exclaimed, her voice bright with excitement. Buddy lifted his head, his eyes sparkling with recognition. He stretched and let out a big yawn, his tail wagging in greeting. "Are you ready for our big adventure?" she asked, her heart fluttering with anticipation. With Buddy's enthusiastic response, a soft bark and a happy wag of his tail, Lily knew he was on board. She quickly grabbed his leash, attaching it to his collar with a click. "Let's go." They stepped outside into the brisk morning air, the world around them transformed into a glistening wonderland. The snow crunched beneath their feet, and the trees were heavy with fluffy white coats. Lily took a deep breath, the cold air filling her lungs, invigorating her spirit. "It's beautiful out here," she exclaimed, looking around in awe. Buddy seemed to share her enthusiasm, bounding through the snow, his energy infectious. He leapt and pranced, shaking off the powdery snow that clung to his fur. Lily laughed as she watched him, her heart swelling with happiness. "You're such a silly boy," she called out, running after him. They explored the backyard first, where Lily had built a small snowman the day before. "Look, Buddy, this is Frosty," she said, pointing to the snowman adorned with a carrot nose and a scarf. Buddy sniffed at the snowman curiously, tilting his head as if trying to understand what it was. But soon, the backyard wasn't enough. "Let's go to the park," Lily declared, her excitement bubbling over. She tugged gently on Buddy's leash, and together they made their way down the street toward the local park, where children often sledded and families gathered to play in the snow. As they approached the park, the sight of children laughing and playing filled Lily with joy. She couldn't wait to introduce Buddy to everyone. "You're going to love it here," she said, patting his side reassuringly. Upon reaching the park, Lily unclipped Buddy's leash, giving him the freedom to roam. She felt a rush of exhilaration as he bounded forward, exploring the new environment. He sniffed at everything, the trees, the snow-covered benches, and even the footprints left behind by previous visitors. Lily watched with delight, her laughter ringing through the air as Buddy chased after a few children who were tossing snowballs at each other. He joined in the fun, running around and barking playfully. The children squealed with glee as he bounded toward them, his tail wagging furiously. "Look at him go!" one little boy shouted, clearly impressed by Buddy's energy. "Can we play with him?" "Of course," Lily beamed, feeling proud of her new friend. "His name is Buddy." The children gathered around, their excitement palpable as they took turns tossing snowballs for Buddy to chase. He darted after them, his agility and enthusiasm captivating everyone present. Lily clapped her hands, cheering him on. "Go, Buddy, go!" As they played, Lily noticed that Buddy was connecting not just with her, but with everyone around him. He was no longer the timid dog she had first found. He was a vibrant, joyful creature, fully embracing the moment. It warmed her heart to see him so happy and free. After a while, they took a break, sitting together on a snowy bench. Lily brushed the snow off the seat and patted the spot beside her. "Come here, Buddy. Let's rest for a minute." Buddy plopped down next to her, panting lightly, his tongue lolling out in delight. "You were amazing out there," she praised, scratching behind his ears. He leaned into her touch, clearly enjoying the affection. As they sat there, a little girl approached, her cheeks rosy from the cold. "Can I pet him?" she asked shyly, glancing up at Lily. "Of course," Lily replied, smiling warmly. "He loves meeting new friends." The girl knelt down, extending her hand slowly toward Buddy. He sniffed her fingers cautiously before allowing her to pet him. "What a good boy," she giggled, her eyes sparkling with joy. "Can he play with us?" Lily looked at Buddy, who was watching the children play with keen interest. "Do you want to join them, Buddy?" she asked, her voice filled with excitement. With a quick wag of his tail, Buddy seemed to agree. The little girl jumped up, clapping her hands. "Yay! Come on, Buddy!" she called, and soon they were off again, running and rolling in the snow. Lily watched with a heart full of happiness as Buddy joined the group, his spirit shining bright. He chased after the children, leaping and bounding through the fluffy snow, and Lily felt a surge of pride. She had saved him, and now he was giving joy to others in return. The afternoon drifted by in a blur of laughter and play. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden hue over the park, Lily called Buddy back, her heart swelling with love for her furry companion. "Okay, Buddy, time to head home." Buddy trotted back to her, his tongue lolling out and his eyes sparkling with excitement. He was tired but happy. His spirit had soared during their adventure. As they walked home, the snow began to fall softly again, creating a gentle hush over Cedar Creek. Lily felt a sense of peace wash over her, knowing that she and Buddy were not just companions. They were a family. When they arrived home, the warmth of the house welcomed them. Lily removed Buddy's leash and led him to his cozy spot in the living room. "You did so great today," she said, rubbing his belly as he flopped down, exhausted but content. As she prepared their dinner, Lily couldn't help but reflect on how much had changed in such a short time. From a cold night spent in fear to a day filled with laughter and joy, Buddy had become a beacon of light in her life. That evening, after a hearty meal and some playtime, they settled down on the couch together. Lily pulled a blanket over both of them, her heart brimming with happiness. "I can't wait for more adventures, Buddy," she whispered, snuggling closer. Buddy lifted his head and looked at her, his eyes reflecting a deep understanding. In that moment, under the soft glow of the living room lamp, they both knew that they were meant to be together. The promises of tomorrow filled the air with hope, and as they drifted off to sleep, wrapped in warmth and love, they dreamed of all the adventures that lay ahead, a journey that was just beginning, and one that would lead to a lifetime of heartwarming moments together. The following days passed in a delightful blur, with Lily and Buddy exploring Cedar Creek together. Each morning brought new adventures, from snowball fights at the park to cozy afternoons spent reading stories by the fire. Their bond deepened with every shared experience, and Buddy seemed to flourish in his new home. But as the winter days continued, a change in the air began to stir. One particularly chilly afternoon, as Lily and Buddy lounged in the living room, a gentle knock echoed from the front door. Lily sat up, glancing at Buddy, who perked his ears, curious about the sound. "Who could that be?" she wondered aloud, rising to her feet. Buddy followed closely behind, his tail wagging, sensing the excitement. As Lily opened the door, she was met by a sight that took her breath away. Standing on the porch was a woman, bundled in a thick coat, her cheeks flushed from the cold. At her feet stood a small, fluffy puppy, shivering and looking up with wide, innocent eyes. "Hi there. Is this the home of Buddy?" the woman asked, her voice warm and friendly. Lily's heart raced as she recognized the woman. "Yes, that's Buddy, but how do you know him?" The woman smiled, kneeling down to pet the puppy. "I'm Emily. Buddy's previous owner. I've been looking for him everywhere. Lily's heart sank for a moment. She'd been so happy to have Buddy in her life. You mean he had a home before? She asked, her voice trembling slightly. Yes, Emily replied, her eyes glistening with emotion. He was my best friend, but one night he ran away during a storm. I've been searching for him ever since. Lily felt a mix of emotions, confusion, sadness, and a flicker of protectiveness over Buddy. But he was all alone. He was scared, she exclaimed, glancing back at Buddy, who was watching the exchange with curiosity. I know, sweetheart, Emily said, her voice soothing. I'm so sorry he went through that. I didn't want him to feel abandoned. I never stopped looking for him. When I saw your videos online about your adventures together, I knew I had to come see if it was really him. Lily felt a pang in her chest. He's so happy with us now. I don't want him to leave again, she said, her voice trembling. Emily nodded, her expression softening. I understand. Buddy's happiness is what matters most. I just wanted to be sure he was safe and loved. Lily bit her lip, feeling torn. She wanted to honor Buddy's past, but the thought of losing him felt unbearable. Can we keep him for now? She asked, her heart racing. Just until we figure things out? Emily looked at Buddy, who had wandered over to sniff at the puppy, his tail wagging as if he were welcoming a new friend. His eyes sparkled with joy, and Lily felt a swell of hope. Okay, Emily said, her voice filled with understanding. Let's take some time to see how he adjusts. I trust you. Thank you, Lily exclaimed, relief washing over her. You can come visit him any time you want. As Emily stepped inside, she introduced the little puppy. This is Bella. She's just a few months old and could use a friend. Lily crouched down to pet Bella, who wagged her tiny tail and licked Lily's hand. Oh, you're so cute, she squealed. I think you and Buddy are going to be best friends. Buddy and Bella began to play, their energy infectious. They chased each other around the living room, tumbling and rolling in the snow that still clung to their fur. Lily watched with a smile, feeling a warmth spread through her heart. Emily took a seat on the couch, her eyes dancing with joy as she watched the two dogs play. I can see Buddy has found a wonderful home with you, she said, genuine admiration in her voice. Lily's heart swelled with pride. He really has. We've been on so many adventures together. He's so brave and strong. As the afternoon wore on, Emily shared stories about Buddy's earlier days. She told Lily about how they had enjoyed hiking in the mountains, swimming in the lake during summer, and snuggling on the couch during winter nights. It was clear how much love she had for Buddy, and Lily felt a sense of camaraderie with her. Would you like to join us for hot cocoa? Lily offered, eager to share her warmth and hospitality. Emily's face lit up. I'd love that. As they gathered in the kitchen, Lily prepared the cocoa, and Buddy and Bella settled down at their feet, tired from their play. The room filled with laughter and stories, and for a brief moment it felt like a family reunion, two friends united by their love for a dog who had brought them together. After a while, as Emily sipped her cocoa, she looked at Lily thoughtfully. I know Buddy has been through a lot, and I want to make sure he feels safe and loved. If it's okay with you, I'd like to help you with his care. I can provide some supplies and help with training Bella too. Lily felt her heart swell with gratitude. That would be amazing. You can teach us all about Bella and how to take care of her. They spent the next few hours sharing tips and tricks for dog care, with Emily demonstrating how to train Bella to sit and stay. Buddy watched closely, his eyes filled with curiosity as he learned from his old friend. It was a heartwarming sight, one that reminded Lily of the deep connection animals have with their humans. As the day turned to evening, Emily prepared to leave, but not before promising to return regularly to check on Buddy and Bella. I'm so grateful for you, Lily. Thank you for taking such good care of Buddy, she said, her voice filled with sincerity. I'll always take care of him, Lily replied, her heart resolute. He's part of my family now. After Emily departed, Lily sank onto the couch, Buddy curling up beside her and Bella nestled at her feet. What a day, huh, Buddy? She whispered, wrapping her arms around him. I can't believe we met your old owner. Buddy looked up at her, his eyes filled with trust and affection. She could see the bond between them had only grown stronger, despite the confusion of the day. Tomorrow we'll take Bella to the park, and we can all play together, Lily declared, her excitement returning. It'll be a new adventure for all of us. As the evening wore on, they settled into a cozy routine, the love in the room palpable. The connection between Lily, Buddy, and now Bella felt like a beautiful tapestry woven together by shared experiences, trust, and an unbreakable bond that would continue to grow. That night, as Lily drifted off to sleep, she felt grateful for the unexpected turn of events. She had opened her heart to Buddy, and now, with Bella joining their little family, the adventures ahead promised to be even more heartwarming than she could have ever imagined. Together, they would navigate the challenges and joys of life side by side, Pawprints forever marking the way. The following day dawned bright and clear, the sun glistening off the fresh blanket of snow that covered Cedar Creek. Lily woke up with a burst of energy, her heart racing with excitement at the thought of taking Buddy and Bella to the park. Today would be a special day, a chance for them all to bond and play together. Good morning, Buddy. Good morning, Bella, she exclaimed, bouncing out of bed and rushing to the living room. The two dogs stirred awake, their tails wagging in response to her enthusiasm. Lily quickly prepared breakfast for herself and the dogs, filling Buddy's bowl with kibble and Bella's with a bit of puppy food. As she watched them eat, she couldn't help but smile. They were becoming the best of friends, and she loved seeing their personalities shine through. After breakfast, Lily bundled up in her warmest winter clothes, donning a thick coat, mittens, and a hat that flopped over her ears. She glanced back at the dogs, who were eagerly waiting by the door, their excitement palpable. Are you ready for the park? She asked, pulling on Buddy's leash and Bella's tiny harness. The three of them stepped outside, the crisp air filling Lily's lungs as she took in the beauty of the winter landscape. The world was a sparkling wonderland, and she felt a thrill of anticipation for the day ahead. They walked to the park, the snow crunching beneath their feet. Buddy and Bella trotted ahead, their noses sniffing everything in sight. Lily laughed as she watched them playfully wrestle with each other, their breath creating small clouds in the cold air. Once they arrived at the park, Lily was delighted to see it bustling with activity. Families were out with their dogs, kids were sledding down the small hills, and laughter filled the air. Look at all the fun, Buddy. Look, Bella, she exclaimed, her heart racing with excitement. As soon as they entered the park, Buddy seemed to come alive. He dashed toward a group of children making snow forts, barking joyfully as he joined in the fun. Bella followed closely behind, her little legs moving as fast as they could to keep up with her larger friend. Hey, look at that dog! One of the kids shouted, pointing at Buddy. He's so big! Can we play with him? Another child asked, running toward Lily. Of course. His name is Buddy, Lily replied, feeling proud. The children surrounded Buddy, petting him gently and tossing snowballs for him to chase. He bounded through the snow, his tail wagging furiously, reveling in the attention and excitement. Bella, not wanting to be left out, joined in, barking playfully as she chased after Buddy. Lily watched with joy as her two furry friends enjoyed themselves. She felt a sense of belonging, surrounded by laughter and the warmth of community. It was a perfect day, and she couldn't have asked for anything more. After a while, Lily called Buddy and Bella back to her side, knowing they needed a break. Okay, you two, let's rest for a bit, she said, kneeling down to catch her breath. Buddy flopped down beside her, panting happily, while Bella nestled against her leg, her energy waning. As they sat together, Lily noticed Emily approaching from a distance, waving excitedly. Hey, Lily, I brought some treats for Buddy and Bella, she called out, her smile brightening the winter day. Lily's heart swelled with happiness. Thank you, Emily. You didn't have to. Emily knelt down, pulling out a bag of dog treats from her coat pocket. I wanted to make sure they had a special day at the park, too. She handed Lily a couple of treats, which she quickly gave to both Buddy and Bella. As the dogs munched on their treats, Emily began to join in the fun, tossing snowballs for Buddy to chase. Look at him go, she laughed, watching as Buddy bounded after the snowball, catching it mid-air. Lily felt a warmth spreading through her heart as she watched the two of them interact. Emily had brought so much joy and love into their lives, and she was grateful for the bond they were forming. "Thank you for coming. This is so much fun," she said, beaming. As the afternoon wore on, they took turns playing games with the dogs, fetch, hide and seek, and even a little obstacle course made of snow mounds. Buddy and Bella were in their element, romping through the snow and enjoying every moment. Eventually, Lily suggested they take a break and enjoy some hot cocoa. "Let's warm up. I have a thermos in my backpack," she said, leading them to a nearby bench. As they settled down, Emily shared stories about Buddy's past, recounting his playful antics and the adventures they had shared. Lily loved hearing about his life before he came to her, and she felt grateful to understand him better. The dogs settled down at their feet, tired from all the excitement, and Lily and Emily sipped their cocoa, their laughter mingling in the crisp air. "Thank you for including me in this special day," Emily said, her eyes sparkling. "It means a lot to see Buddy so happy." Lily smiled, her heart swelling with warmth. "He's happy because he has you in his life too. You're his first friend, and that's really special." As the sun began to set, casting a soft pink glow over the snow, Lily felt a sense of contentment wash over her. "Let's take a picture together," she suggested, wanting to capture the beautiful day. They arranged themselves on the bench, Buddy and Bella sitting proudly in front, tongues out and tails wagging. Emily and Lily grinned widely, their hearts full of joy. With a quick snap of the camera, they immortalized the moment, a memory to cherish forever. As they packed up to leave, Buddy and Bella trotted beside them, their spirits high, and Lily felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had found not only a loyal companion in Buddy, but also a new friend in Emily. Together, they would create a beautiful tapestry of memories, each thread woven from love, laughter, and the joy of being together. As they made their way home, the stars began to twinkle overhead, and the world felt magical. Lily glanced down at Buddy, who looked up at her with eyes full of trust and affection, and at Bella, who bounced along with youthful exuberance. "Today was amazing," she said softly, her voice filled with warmth. "And it's just the beginning of our adventures." Buddy let out a soft bark, and Bella wagged her tail as if to say they agreed wholeheartedly. Together, they walked home, the promise of a bright future stretching out before them, filled with the warmth of friendship, love, and the undeniable bond that tied them all together. Little did they know that the coming days would lead them on even greater adventures, filled with heartwarming moments that would shape their lives forever. As the week progressed, Cedar Creek was enveloped in a series of winter storms, transforming the landscape into a picturesque wonderland. The air was crisp, and the snowflakes fell softly, blanketing everything in sight. Lily felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation. While she loved playing in the snow, she knew that heavy snowstorms could be challenging. One morning, Lily woke up to the sound of howling winds outside her window. She peeked out to see the tall trees swaying and the ground covered in a thick layer of snow. Buddy and Bella, sensing her excitement, bounded over to her, their tails wagging wildly. "Looks like we're going to have a snow day," Lily announced, her voice filled with joy. She quickly got dressed, eager to take her furry friends outside. "Come on, you two, let's go play." After bundling up in her warmest clothes, Lily opened the door to a world transformed. The snow was deeper than she had ever seen, almost up to her knees. "Wow!" she gasped, her eyes wide with wonder. "This is going to be so much fun." Buddy and Bella wasted no time, dashing out into the snow with gleeful barks. Lily laughed as she watched them leap and bound, their energy infectious. "You're both so silly," she called out, her heart brimming with happiness. However, as the morning wore on, the snow continued to fall heavily, and the wind picked up, creating an almost blizzard-like atmosphere. The once charming winter wonderland began to feel a bit daunting as the visibility decreased and the world outside became a swirling mass of white. "Okay, let's be careful," Lily said, realizing that the weather was changing rapidly. She called Buddy and Bella back to her side, and they huddled together on the porch, their breath visible in the cold air. Just then, Lily's mother, Sarah, stepped outside, her expression serious. "Lily, we need to head inside. The weather is getting worse, and we want to stay safe," she said, glancing at the swirling snow. Lily nodded, reluctantly agreeing. "Okay, Mum, but can we play for just a little longer?" Sarah smiled softly, recognizing her daughter's adventurous spirit. "How about we make some snowmen in the front yard first? Then we can warm up with some hot cocoa." "Yay!" Lily cheered, her spirits lifting at the thought of building snowmen. She quickly led Buddy and Bella back into the yard, where they all began to roll snowballs together. As they worked, laughter filled the air. With Buddy's larger body, he helped pack the snow, while Bella playfully chased the snowflakes that fell around them. Soon, they had created 2 snowmen, one for Lily and one for Buddy, complete with a scarf and a carrot nose. "Look, Buddy, this one is just for you," Lily said, placing a small scarf around the snowman's neck. Buddy barked happily, wagging his tail as if he understood the gesture. But as the wind picked up and the snow continued to fall, Sarah called them back inside. "All right, team, time to warm up," she said, ushering them into the house. Once inside, Lily helped her mother prepare hot cocoa, the sweet aroma filling the kitchen. Buddy and Bella settled down by the fireplace, their bodies curled up contentedly. As Lily handed her mother a steaming mug, she couldn't help but feel grateful for this cozy moment. "Thank you for letting me build snowmen," Lily said, taking a seat on the couch with her cocoa. "It was so much fun." Sarah smiled, wrapping her arm around her daughter. "I love seeing you so happy. But remember, we need to stay safe. Let's check the news and see how the storm is progressing." They gathered around the television, watching the weather report. The news anchor warned of worsening conditions, advising everyone to stay indoors. "Looks like we'll be cozying up for a while," Sarah said, glancing at Lily. "We might even have a snow day tomorrow." Lily's eyes lit up. "Really? That would be awesome!" As the storm raged outside, Lily felt a sense of comfort, knowing they were safe and warm inside. They settled in, reading stories, playing games, and sipping cocoa. Buddy and Bella curled up at their feet, providing warmth and companionship. As night fell, the storm intensified, and the wind howled outside like a wild beast. Lily snuggled deeper into the blanket, feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Do you think it'll be okay?" she asked, looking up at her mother. Sarah nodded, her voice calm and reassuring. "Yes, sweetie. We're safe here. Just remember to stay close to me and the dogs." They spent the evening together, sharing stories and laughter, while Buddy and Bella drifted off to sleep, their soft snores filling the room. The bond between them grew deeper, and Lily felt a warmth in her heart that made her forget about the storm outside. However, as the night wore on, the winds howled more fiercely, rattling the windows and making the house creak. Lily felt a twinge of worry creep in. What if the power goes out? She wondered aloud. "Let's not worry about that now," Sarah said gently, sensing her daughter's concern. "We'll be okay. I'll make sure we have everything we need." As if on cue, the lights flickered and then dimmed. Lily's heart raced as the room was suddenly cast in shadow. "Mom!" she exclaimed, her voice rising in alarm. "It's okay, Lily. Just a little power outage. I'll grab some candles," Sarah reassured her, moving quickly to find flashlights and candles. Lily clutched Buddy and Bella, who stirred awake, sensing her unease. "It's all right, guys. We're okay," she whispered, holding them close. Once Sarah returned with candles and flashlights, she lit them, casting a warm glow over the room. "See? We're all set," she said, her voice cheerful. "Let's make the best of it." They gathered around the flickering candles, telling stories and playing games in the glow of the candlelight. Buddy and Bella snuggled close, their warmth a comfort against the cold winds outside. As the hours passed, the storm raged on, but inside their home they created their own little world, filled with laughter, love, and warmth. Lily felt grateful for her family and her furry friends, realizing that even in the midst of chaos, they could find joy together. Finally, as the evening wore on and the storm began to subside, Lily nestled down on the couch, Buddy curled up beside her and Bella resting on her lap. "I love you guys," she whispered, her heart full. "No matter what happens outside, we're always going to be together." Buddy looked up at her, his eyes filled with understanding, as if he knew the promise she made, and with that, they all settled in, the warmth of their bond shining brighter than any storm, ready to face whatever came next, together. It was a night filled with love, laughter, and the kind of magic that could only be found in the simplest moments spent with those who mattered most. And as the storm finally began to clear, a new day awaited them, full of possibilities and adventures just waiting to unfold. The following morning, the world outside was transformed once again. The storm had passed, leaving behind a breathtaking winter wonderland. As sunlight poured through the windows, Lily woke up to the soft sound of snowflakes falling gently from the trees. She stretched and glanced around, her heart racing with excitement. "Buddy, Bella, come on, it's time to see the snow," she exclaimed, hopping out of bed. The two dogs perked up at her voice, their tails wagging with enthusiasm. After quickly throwing on her warm clothes, Lily rushed to the living room to find Buddy and Bella waiting by the door, their eyes bright with anticipation. "Are you ready for another adventure?" she asked, kneeling down to scratch Buddy behind the ears, then giving Bella a gentle pat. Once outside, Lily was met with a scene straight out of a fairy tale. The sun glowed brightly, illuminating the pristine snow that blanketed everything in sight. The trees sparkled with icicles, and the air was filled with the crisp scent of winter. It was a magical moment, one that made her heart swell with joy. "Look at all this snow," she shouted, giggling with delight. As she stepped into the deep snow, she felt it crunch beneath her boots, and she reveled in the feeling of the cold air against her cheeks. Buddy took off first, bounding through the snow, his large frame leaving deep paw prints behind him. Bella followed closely, her small legs pumping furiously as she tried to keep up with her larger companion. Lily laughed, watching them playfully chase each other, their excitement contagious. "Let's make snow angels," Lily called out, dropping to her back and moving her arms and legs to create an angel shape in the snow. Buddy stopped and tilted his head, curiously watching her. Bella, however, jumped right in, rolling around in the snow, leaving a trail of puppy paw prints. Once she stood up, Lily admired her work. "Look, Buddy, it's beautiful," she said, pointing to her snow angel. Buddy trotted over and sniffed at the outline, then turned to her, seeming to approve of her creation. Next, they built a snow fort together, rolling snowballs and stacking them high. Lily felt a rush of glee as she placed the last snowball on top, creating a small castle-like structure. "This is the best snow fort ever!" she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with delight. As they played, Lily noticed the snow covering the yard had also created a perfect slope for sledding. "What do you say we find our sleds?" she suggested, her heart racing with excitement. After a quick search through the garage, they found a bright red sled that had been tucked away from last winter. "Here it is!" Lily shouted, holding it up triumphantly. "Let's go!" They made their way to the top of a small hill in their backyard, Buddy and Bella racing alongside her. Once they reached the top, Lily set the sled down and climbed on, feeling a thrill of anticipation. "Ready, set, go!" she shouted, pushing off. The sled glided down the hill, the wind rushing past her face, and she let out a joyful squeal. As she reached the bottom, she tumbled off the sled and landed in a soft pile of snow, laughter spilling from her lips. Buddy and Bella dashed over, their tails wagging furiously. "That was amazing! Come on, you two! Your turn!" she called, her excitement infectious. Lily helped Bella climb onto the sled first, holding her steady as she gave the little puppy a gentle push down the hill. Bella squeaked in delight, her tiny paws flailing as she flew down, landing gracefully in a fluffy mound of snow. "Good job, Bella," Lily cheered, clapping her hands. "You're a natural." Next, she positioned Buddy on the sled. "Okay, big guy, let's see what you've got," she said, giving him a gentle nudge. Buddy took off with surprising speed, gliding down the hill and landing with a soft thud in the snow. "Woohoo, that was awesome," Lily exclaimed, her heart racing with joy as Buddy bounded back up the hill, tail wagging and eyes shining with excitement. They took turns sledding down the hill, giggling and playing for what felt like hours. The world around them was alive with laughter and joy, and Lily felt a sense of pure bliss. Eventually, as the sun began to dip lower in the sky, they decided to take a break. They flopped down in the snow, catching their breath, and watched as the sky transformed into a canvas of oranges and pinks. Lily sighed contentedly, feeling the warmth of happiness fill her heart. "I love this day," she said softly, glancing at Buddy and Bella. "You two make every moment special." Buddy leaned against her, resting his head on her shoulder while Bella curled up in her lap, both dogs content and happy. It was a perfect moment, one that Lily wished could last forever. As the light faded and the first stars began to twinkle in the sky, they headed back inside, where the warmth of the house awaited them. Sarah was in the kitchen preparing a delicious dinner, and she smiled warmly at the sight of them. "How was your day in the snow?" she asked, her eyes twinkling with delight. "It was amazing, Mum. We built a snow fort, went sledding, and had so much fun," Lily exclaimed, her cheeks flushed with excitement. Sarah chuckled, ruffling Lily's hair. "I'm glad to hear that. Let's warm up with some hot cocoa after dinner, okay?" "Yay!" Lily shouted, her excitement bubbling over. They settled down for dinner, sharing stories about their day. Buddy and Bella lay at their feet, enjoying the warmth of the kitchen and the smell of good food. After dinner, Lily helped her mum prepare the hot cocoa, adding marshmallows and whipped cream, making it a special treat. With steaming mugs in hand, they all snuggled on the couch, Buddy and Bella nestled comfortably beside them. The room was filled with laughter and warmth, creating a cozy atmosphere that Lily cherished. Today was the best day ever, she declared, her heart full. As they sipped their cocoa, sharing stories and laughter, Lily realized just how much her life had changed since Buddy had come into it. He had brought joy, adventure, and a sense of family that she had always longed for. And now, with Bella by their side, their little family felt even more complete. As the evening wore on, Lily felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. "No matter what happens, I'll always take care of you both," she whispered to Buddy and Bella, who looked up at her with trusting eyes. The warmth of love enveloped them all, and as they settled in for the night, Lily knew that together they would face whatever adventures awaited them. With hearts full of hope and warmth, they drifted off to sleep, dreaming of snow, laughter, and the promise of many more adventures to come. The next few days unfolded in a magical rhythm, filled with laughter, snowball fights, and warm afternoons spent curled up by the fire with Buddy and Bella. Lily felt grateful for the joy that had entered her life through these two furry companions, and she cherished every moment they spent together. One sunny morning, as Lily was getting ready for another day of winter fun, she heard a soft knock at the door. Curious, she rushed to answer it, her heart racing with excitement. When she opened the door, she was greeted by Emily, holding a leash attached to a small, scruffy dog. "Hi, Lily." "I hope I'm not interrupting," Emily said, her cheeks flushed from the cold. "I wanted to introduce you to my new friend." Lily's eyes widened with delight as she looked down at the small dog, who had bright, expressive eyes and a curly coat that looked as if it had seen a few snowstorms. "Oh my gosh, he's so cute. What's his name?" she exclaimed. "His name is Max," Emily replied, bending down to scratch behind Max's ears. "I adopted him from the shelter last week. He's still getting used to his new home, but he's very sweet." Lily's heart swelled with joy. "Can he play with Buddy and Bella?" she asked, her excitement tangible. "Absolutely. I was hoping we could all go to the park together," Emily suggested, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "Yay! Let's do it!" Lily exclaimed, quickly putting on her warm coat and grabbing Buddy's leash. Bella bounced around her feet, eager for the adventure ahead, while Buddy watched curiously, seeming to sense the excitement in the air. As they arrived at the park, Lily felt a sense of happiness wash over her. The sun was shining brightly, and the snow sparkled like diamonds in the light. Families were out enjoying the winter day, and laughter filled the air. "Okay, Max, time to meet some new friends," Emily said, gently releasing Max from his leash. The little dog looked around, his tail wagging tentatively as he took in the new environment. Lily released Buddy and Bella, who immediately began to frolic in the snow, their tails wagging with joy. Max watched them for a moment, then slowly joined in, his small body bouncing through the snow. "Look at them go!" Emily laughed, watching as Buddy and Bella showed Max the ropes of playing in the snow. They chased each other, tumbling and rolling, their joyful barks ringing through the air. Lily felt a sense of pride watching Buddy and Bella take on the role of teachers, showing Max how to enjoy the snow. "You're doing great, Max," she cheered, clapping her hands as he leapt over a small mound of snow. As they played, the bond between the three dogs grew stronger. Max began to show his playful side, chasing after Buddy and Bella, who welcomed him with open paws. Lily and Emily sat on a nearby bench, sipping hot cocoa and sharing stories about their furry friends. "I can already tell Max is going to fit right in," Emily said, her eyes shining with happiness as she watched her new dog interact with Buddy and Bella. "He's got such a sweet personality." "Yes. I love how he's already playing with them," Lily replied, feeling a rush of warmth in her heart. "It's like they've known each other forever." After a while, Lily suggested they take a break from playing and build a snowman together. "Let's create a snowman family," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Great idea," Emily agreed, and together they gathered snow, rolling large snowballs to form the base of their snowman. Buddy and Bella watched closely, their tails wagging as if they were supervising the construction. Max, excited by the activity, joined in by digging around the base of the snowman, sending snow flying everywhere. Lily laughed, her heart filled with joy. "You're a great helper, Max," she said, patting him on the head. As they finished building the snowman, they adorned it with a scarf, a carrot nose, and buttons made of stones. "Ta-da! Our snowman family is complete," Lily exclaimed, stepping back to admire their handiwork. Just as they finished, a group of children approached, eyes wide with admiration. "Can we play with your snowman?" one of the boys asked. "Of course, you can help us make more," Lily replied, her heart swelling with joy at the thought of sharing their creation. The children joined in, and soon the park was filled with laughter and excitement as they all worked together, creating a beautiful snowman village. Buddy, Bella, and Max playfully darted between the children, joining in the fun and bringing smiles to everyone's faces. As the afternoon wore on, the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting a warm golden glow over the snowy landscape. Lily's cheeks were rosy from the cold, and her heart felt full of happiness. She loved seeing everyone come together, creating memories that would last a lifetime. "Thank you for bringing Max. This has been such a fun day," Lily said to Emily as they watched the dogs play together in the snow. "I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Max loves being around Buddy and Bella," Emily replied, her voice filled with warmth. As they began to pack up their things to head home, Lily felt a sense of contentment. The day had brought new friendships and adventures, and she couldn't wait to see what tomorrow would hold. As they walked back home, Buddy and Bella trotted happily beside them, while Max bounced along, wagging his tail in excitement. "We're going to have so many more adventures together," Lily declared, her heart brimming with joy. Emily smiled, her eyes sparkling with happiness. "Absolutely, this is just the beginning for all of us." That night, as Lily cuddled up with Buddy and Bella on the couch, she reflected on the day. Her heart felt full, knowing that they had created something special together. The warmth of their bond and the joy of new friendships filled her with hope for all the adventures still to come. "No matter what happens, we'll always be together," she whispered to Buddy and Bella, who looked up at her with trust and affection. And as they settled in for the night, she knew that with each passing day their story was only just beginning, a story filled with love, laughter, and the magic of friendship. The days turned into weeks, and winter continued to weave its magic around Cedar Creek. Snowflakes danced lazily from the sky, blanketing the town in a serene layer of white. Lily, Buddy, Bella, and Max had become inseparable, forging a bond that felt unbreakable. They played together every day, exploring the snowy landscape, building snow forts, and making memories that would last a lifetime. One crisp Saturday morning, Lily woke up to the sound of excited barks and playful growls. She smiled, knowing that Buddy, Bella, and Max were eagerly waiting for her to start the day. After dressing quickly, she raced to the living room, where she found her furry friends tumbling over each other in a flurry of fur and wagging tails. "Good morning, everyone! Are you ready for an adventure?" she asked, her heart racing with excitement. The dogs barked in response, their enthusiasm infectious. Lily's mind raced with possibilities for the day. Then, an idea struck her. How about we visit the local animal shelter? They might have a special event today. Buddy and Bella wagged their tails in approval, while Max barked excitedly, as if he understood the plan. Lily quickly grabbed their leashes, her heart filled with anticipation for the day ahead. As they made their way to the shelter, the sun shone brightly, illuminating the snowy path. The dogs happily trotted beside her, their energy infectious. "I can't wait to see all the animals," she exclaimed, her excitement bubbling over. When they arrived at the shelter, the atmosphere was lively, with families milling about, eager to meet the animals looking for forever homes. The shelter staff had organized a special adoption event, complete with games, treats, and activities for both pets and their potential adopters. Lily's heart swelled with joy as she saw the excited faces of children and adults alike. "This is amazing," she said, leading her dogs toward the entrance. Inside, the warmth enveloped them like a comforting hug. The sounds of barking and meowing filled the air, creating a symphony of hope and love. As they entered, a friendly volunteer approached them, her smile wide. "Welcome. Thank you for coming. Would you like to help out today?" "Yes, we'd love to," Lily replied, her voice filled with enthusiasm. The volunteer guided them to a table where they could help prepare treats for the animals. Lily quickly got to work, rolling out dough and cutting it into fun shapes. Buddy, Bella, and Max watched eagerly, their tails wagging at the thought of treats. As they crafted the delicious snacks, Lily felt a sense of purpose wash over her. She loved knowing they were helping animals in need. "This is so much fun," she exclaimed, her heart full of joy. Once the treats were ready, they moved to the play area, where they could interact with the animals. The room was filled with cats and dogs, each one eager for attention. Lily knelt down, allowing Buddy, Bella, and Max to greet the other animals. "Look at this little guy," she said, pointing to a small puppy wagging its tail furiously. The puppy had big brown eyes and a fluffy coat, and it seemed to be overflowing with energy. "His name is Charlie," the volunteer explained. "He's looking for a family that can give him the love and attention he needs." Lily's heart melted as she watched Charlie bounce around, playfully nipping at Buddy's ears. "He's so cute. Do you think he'd get along with my dogs?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "They usually do well together, especially with dogs that have a similar energy," the volunteer replied, smiling at the sight of the playful puppy. Encouraged by the interaction, Lily decided to introduce Charlie to Buddy, Bella, and Max. She felt a rush of joy as they all began to play together, bounding around the room in a whirlwind of excitement. Charlie fit right in, joining their games with enthusiasm. "This is so wonderful," Lily exclaimed, watching as Buddy and Bella welcomed Charlie into their circle. She could see the spark of joy in all their eyes, and it filled her with warmth. As the day went on, Lily participated in various activities, including helping with dog training demonstrations and playing with the cats. She learned about the importance of kindness and compassion toward animals, and her heart swelled with every wag of a tail or happy purr. When it was time for a break, Lily sat down on a bench with her dogs. They were all tired but happy, their fur slightly snowy from the playful interactions. "What a day, huh, guys?" she said, scratching Buddy behind the ears. "We've done so much good." Just then, Emily approached, a smile on her face. "Hey, Lily, I saw you guys having fun. I thought I'd come check it out." She knelt down to pet Buddy and Bella, her eyes sparkling with warmth. "Hi, Emily, it's amazing here. You should see all the animals," Lily replied, her excitement palpable. As they chatted, Lily's gaze wandered to the other side of the room, where Charlie was playing with a few children. He was clearly a crowd favorite, and Lily couldn't help but smile at how happy he looked. "Do you think Charlie would make a good addition to our family?" she asked Emily, her voice filled with hope. Emily looked thoughtful for a moment. "I think he would fit right in with you guys. He seems to have a great spirit." Lily's heart raced at the thought. What if we adopted him? We could give him a loving home. Emily's eyes widened with excitement. "That's a wonderful idea. You already have so much love to give, and he deserves a family." After a few moments of contemplation, Lily felt a sense of determination wash over her. "I want to do it. I want to adopt Charlie," she declared, her voice filled with conviction. With Emily's support, they approached one of the shelter staff members and expressed their interest in adopting Charlie. The staff member smiled warmly, guiding them through the process and explaining everything they needed to know about bringing a new dog into their home. Soon, Lily found herself filling out paperwork, her heart racing with excitement. She could hardly believe that she would be welcoming another furry friend into their family. After what felt like a whirlwind of activity, they finally completed the adoption process. "Welcome to your new family, Charlie," Lily said, kneeling down to give the little puppy a gentle hug. Charlie wagged his tail furiously, his eyes shining with happiness. As they prepared to head home, Lily grabbed Charlie's leash, feeling a sense of pride swell within her. "Let's go, everyone. We have a new adventure ahead." The group ventured back outside, the sun shining down on them as they walked home together. Charlie bounced happily beside Buddy and Bella, his energy infectious. Lily felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing she had given Charlie a second chance at happiness. When they arrived home, the atmosphere felt electric with excitement. Lily introduced Charlie to the house, showing him around and making sure he felt comfortable. Buddy and Bella watched closely, their tails wagging as they welcomed their new friend. As the evening approached, the family settled down for dinner. Lily felt a rush of gratitude as she looked around the table, surrounded by her dogs and her mum. "I can't believe we have a new member of the family," she exclaimed, her heart full. After dinner, they all snuggled together on the couch, Lily's heart brimming with love as she petted Buddy, Bella and Charlie. "I promise to take care of you all," she whispered, her voice filled with sincerity. As the day came to a close, Lily reflected on the journey that had brought her to this moment. She had opened her heart to Buddy, Bella, and now Charlie, and each of them had brought so much joy and love into her life. "Together, we can face anything," she thought, her heart swelling with warmth as she cuddled her furry friends close. And as they settled in for the night, the bond they shared felt stronger than ever, a beautiful testament to the power of love and friendship, and the adventures that awaited them in the days to come. What a wonderful adventure it has been. From snowy days at the park to welcoming Charlie into their family, Lily and her furry friends have shown us the power of love and friendship. If you enjoyed their journey, don't forget to subscribe to Pawprints Forever, like this video, and share it with your friends and family. We want to hear your thoughts. Where in the world are you watching from? Drop a comment below. Your support helps us continue sharing heartwarming stories and adventures. Until next time, keep those tails wagging.